talk about Iran. Okay.
That's Rob.
Trump says Iran's Ayatollah should be very worried. Okay. Let's see. Page 25, Rob. I do think you have a clip on this one, and I think there's a tweet as well from the White House yesterday. President Trump warned that Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei should be very worried during an interview with on Wednesday, amid rising tensions between Washington and Tehran. Here's the president.
The Supreme Leader in Iran be worried right now?
I would say he should be very worried, yeah. He should be. As you know, they're negotiating with us.
I know they are, but the protesters have said, you know, where are the Americans? You promised them we would have their back. Do we still have their back?
Well, we've had their back, and look, that country's a mess right now because of us. We went in, we wiped out their nuclear.
So that's the question. If we wipe them out,
we have peace in the Middle East.
Yeah.
If I didn't take out their nuclear, think of it. If we didn't take out that nuclear, we wouldn't have peace in the Middle East because the Arab countries could have never done that. They were very, very afraid of Iran. They're not afraid of Iran anymore. We wiped out those beautiful B-2 bombers, one's right over there. Those beautiful little models. Those beautiful B-2 bombers went in and they hit their target, every single bomb, and obliterated it. And because of that, they were going to have a nuclear weapon within 1 month. Within 1 month, they were going to have a nuclear weapon. That was a big threat. That they're not going to have it anymore.
But if we obliterate it, what's the deal about? I mean, if there's no more, are they trying to restart the nuclear program?
Well, I heard that they are, and if they do, and I let them know, if they do, we're going to send them right back and do their job again.
So your understanding is they tried to restart it, and that's why you're threatening force?
They tried to go back to the site. They weren't even able to get near it. There was total obliteration. But they were thinking about starting a new site in a different part of the country. We found out about it. I said, you do that, we're going to do very bad things to you.
Yeah, Rob, do you have the tweet as well where they're saying to stay away from Iran if you're American, leave in early February 2026. The U.S. virtual embassy in Iran issued a warning repeating that Americans should leave Iran now, if possible. Have a plan for departing Iran that does not rely on U.S. government help. Flight cancellations and disruptions are possible with little warning. Check directly with your airline for updates. If you cannot leave, find a secure location with your residence or another safe building. Have a supply of food, water, medications, and other essential items. It just came out yesterday. Avoid demonstrations. Keep a low profile and stay aware of your surroundings. Monitor local media for breaking news. Be prepared to adjust your plans. Keep your phone charged and maintain communication with family and friends to inform them of your status. This is not a regular warning, folks, that's being given to people. Jared,
I like the
what's your
avoid
thoughts?
demonstration part.
Well, I mean, let me say a couple of things on Iran, because I'm pretty hawkish. I supported the president launching the B-2 bombers after Israel had taken out the air capabilities, the air defenses that Iran had, and going out and taking out those facilities. I think that was the right decision. We've been talking about it for years. Obama talked about Iran having a nuclear weapon. Clinton talked about Iran having a George W. Bush talked about it. And you know what they all agreed? Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. So for 20 years, we've agreed that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Trump was the first one to do something about it and launch the attack. I supported that. I do think, though, now is not the time to back out, right? We told the Iranian people we were coming to help. Now, I'm not for boots on the ground. That I don't think will be successful. But this idea that we can enter another JCPOA with them, no. I was against the first JCPOA. And if we're going to be consistent, it can't be like, oh, we were against it when Obama did it, but when Trump does it, we're going to be for it. This can't just be about nuclear weapons. It has to be about how do we help the Iranian people go forward. Now, you know more about this than anybody, okay? This isn't just like what happened in Venezuela, where if you just take out the supreme leader, like everything else will be fine. No, there's a whole list of people that come after that. So this is a lot more complicated. Now, the Iranians only want to talk about nuclear. That's their negotiating team has said, we're not talking about ballistic missiles. We're not talking about, the people and their rights. Now, look, if we can, through a deal, right, get some of those things, I'm very interested. But if the deal is only on nuclear weapons, then it's JCPOA all over again. And you know what? If I'm the Supreme Ayatollah, you know what my goal is, even though he's an old man? My goal is I just got to survive 3 years. I just got to get past Trump. I'll get him into a deal. I'll get past Trump. Because the next guy,
I agree.
The next guy ain't going to do this.
I agree.
And Trump can't fall for it. Now, he's got people around him. I think Marco is leading him in the right direction. Vance sometimes concerns me because he's an isolationist. But Trump's got to recognize it's him or nobody. I mean, that's where we're at when it comes to Iran. Like Trump, don't like Trump. They look at Trump as crazy as they are. Okay, and that works in that area of the region.
Jared, I think I agree with you on us intervening. I saw videos yesterday. I couldn't even send them to Rob because of how bad people talk about protesters and stuff like that. IRGC is driving through crowds, and I saw people getting completely run over.
I saw those.
And you know what I'm talking about, so I can't send it to Rob. Two things. I think, well, first of all, I don't think Trump, and we know how he plays this chess, he's not going to divulge our plans of attacking or not to some reporter that the network absolutely despises him. I want to ask you a question, Jared. Do you think, because I remember when everything was getting ramped up and looked like we were going to go, and then Trump made a comment about Reza Pahlavi, the prince of the king's son. Do you think, Jared, some of this is not stalled, but kind of slowed down because Trump doesn't have confidence that Reza could take the lead? Because, Jared, at the end of the day, if we go in there and we do a strategic strike, which I think we could take out everybody, the fact that this guy's hiding, we know exactly where he is right now, all day, all the time. Do you think we're kind of holding back because they don't have a leader, because somebody's going to have to step up?
No, I actually think if you look at what happened in Venezuela, right, which from a military standpoint, whether I argue that, the president doesn't have that ability to do that without coming to Congress, although, yes, it's happened in previous presidencies. Yes. But if you look at the strike itself, it was 100% successful, right? Yes. In and out, no boots on the ground, no lives lost, accomplished the mission. I think that they recognize if they're going to do something, it has to be flawless. They didn't have the assets in the region. So they've been moving more and more and more assets in the region. By the way, we heard from Venezuela. They were practicing, right? All of that stuff is going on now. They're planning for all sorts of contingencies. But look, what comes next? Let's say the regime falls. What comes next? Nobody knows. The idea that we're going to install somebody, I don't think that's going to be accepted. But that's going to be up to the Iranian people. I will say one thing, right? We have heard a lot about other countries and about war crimes and this and that, and their leaders. They've killed tens of thousands of people here in these protests. Yep. And we may never know how many. We may never know the real number. But because it's not being fed to people every single day on TikTok, on the platforms like other conflicts, the American people really don't know what's going on there.
So, want me to go?
Go ahead.
So, there's a genocide going on in Iran right now. Straight up. Their regime is killing tens of thousands of their own people, allegedly. So where are the protests? Where's the Gaza crowd? Where's the social justice warriors? Why are you guys all so silent? Not one word. Not one encampment. Not one sign. When ICE kills somebody, there's a protest with signs in minutes. Not one sign. Social justice warriors on the left. Nothing.
There's no gays for Iran?
No, there's no gays for Iran.
I didn't see that.
Grammys, you're gonna say no one's illegal on stolen land. You're not gonna say one thing about the tens of thousands of people that are killed in a week in Iran. Really, this is what we're doing. So when people look at your movement and go, bunch of hypocrites, nothing, they just hate Israel. Because when the Iranian people kill people the regime kills people, their own people. You judge a regime on what they do to their own people. They're murdering their own people, and you mother suckers are silent. Your silence is what people are noticing. I'm sorry. So I don't know what USA is going to do, but I don't know what the people of Iran are going to do, because here's the one question. How many more dead Iranian bodies are we going to need before the world goes, all right, guys, it's too much? Because they said genocide in Israel and Gaza literally 3 days after when they...
No, the next day.
The next day.
Next day.
But I hear zero genocide. So forgive me if we no longer care what the Gays for Gaza crowd or the Free Palestine crowd has to say if you're going to stay silent on what they're doing in Iran. It's absolutely disgusting.
Tom.
It's been said. You and Jared said it. I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, if you look at this here, U.S.-Iran nuclear deal... Rob, is this the one? What does it say?
Right now it's at 74%.
Before August, 74% they're going to get a deal? Oof.
And that just jumped. I mean, that jumped in hours. That's 24 hours.
If you look at the amount of the volume on it, it's $81,000. Rob, can you go to the other one with Khamenei? Look at this one here.
Wow.
Ali Khamenei out as a supreme leader. Look at the amount of money they've placed on this one here. Look at the volume. $16.75 million, Vinny.
Jeez.
$16.75 million saying he'll be out by September 1st. I think right now this is.
By the way, if he just dies of natural causes, do you win?
I think
good
so.
question.
That's a very good question. Or is the prediction
that still counts?
He's still out. He's out. He's definitely out.
You know what's interesting about
he's
this?
He's going to go up to heaven and have his 72. So
I don't think
What's very interesting about this, Kalshi, Pat?
What's that?
Is they say he's out. 100% say he's out. 21% says it'll be before April 1st. 32% says it'll be before July 1st. So now that's 53, 54. Then 37% it'll be September 1st. So that's 84, 93, 94.1.
So 94% is saying he's going to be out.
Do you see what I'm saying? They all say he's out. It's just when.
That's our Tom Kornacki on the ones and twos right there. He knows what's going on.
He got the .1 wrong, but for the rest of it, he did right. So if you do the math, Tom, the .1 would be .7. But I'm not going to correct
Every
him.
time, it's a decimal. He always forgets the decimals.
Guy.
Look, he's turning red. Come on, Tom.
I didn't want to carry the one, and the one that's going to be missing is Khamenei.
Yeah, but going back
Good save,
to it,
Tom.
Going back to it, I think what is going on right now is the Iranian people are truly waiting for Trump to get this done.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do it, there isn't anybody else that can get it done for them. And it could be another 20 years.
Oh, man.
If 20 years. You're
I
assuming.
thought they don't want foreign influence, though, Pat.
Another 20 years before anything else takes place where they'll have an opportunity of a guy like this capable of doing it. But the part that they have to understand with him, when I sat with him and we did the podcast, he specifically said, I said, will you intervene? Will you drive pressure to Iran? Will you? He says, I don't know. We have to stay fluid. Every strategy is going to be different with everything we do. He says, but Patrick, we already have so many problems in America right now that we have to fix. We have so many problems. So that's not good for Iranians because that's not what Iranians want to hear.
Of
right?
course.
That is a message where you're seeing the down row doctrine like this. But I also the part that doesn't change for me with this is he is so unpredictable. You have no idea what's going on at all. The moment he thinks that you think he's going to attack here, he doesn't attack. And then he attacks the moment you think he's not going to be attacking, and then he attacks. That's his way. That's been his motto so far. So we'll see what will take place. But the reality of it going back to it, I don't know if there is anybody as a replacement right now. Like you said earlier, allow the people to select who they want and who they want their leader to be. We have no idea what's going to happen. I do think if it doesn't get done, I think a lot of criticism will go, maybe not by the RP community, because the RP can never do anything wrong in their eyes at all. He can never do anything wrong in their eyes.
Perfect.
I think in their eyes, he's their son. In their eyes, he can't do anything wrong. But if this doesn't get done, I put a lot of the onus on him. And I said it from the beginning, because he's never had this close of a shot to get this thing done. And again, every time I say this, people get upset, but that's my position. It hasn't changed.
Pat, one follow-up on this, if you don't mind.
Tell me.
It seems like the people of Iran have the most hope they've had maybe in 47 years. If there was, like there's the fear-greed index when it comes to the economy and markets.
Yeah.
Where is the Iranian people on the hope-despair index?
Lower than 4 weeks ago. Lower than 2 weeks. It's been declining. It's probably the lowest in the last 4 weeks.
Well, we said help was on the way. I mean, we didn't say it. The president said help is on the way, right? I mean, let's just be clear. If Obama said help was on the way and then no help came,
that's expected.
Okay,
They're
right.
crossing those red lines.
No, but everyone would have called them out like they did when we said this is a red line in Syria, and then it wasn't a red line. Trump said help is on the way. If help doesn't come, look, the president recognizes something, I think, in his life, right? I think he realizes, he's got 3 years left his presidency. He's an older guy. He's trying to put his stamp on things. Okay, if he backs away from this, that will be part of his legacy. Versus the opposite, which is this is not just about the Iranian people. He can fundamentally change the entire region immediately.
The world.
Yeah,
The world.
But,
The world.
but you made a good point, Jared.
China would suffer. Russia
will
would suffer.
That's right.
Oh,
But you
Venezuela?
But you have to realize, Turkey's calling them saying don't do anything.
Yep, Qataris are calling them.
Qatar's calling them saying don't do anything. These are people that are very, very important players in the Middle East. I don't even think Saudi wants him to do anything. So if he's getting those calls and those are good partners and they don't want him to do anything and he's getting that close, question becomes who's going to convince him to do something? Not going to be China, not going to be Russia, not going to be Modi. Who's it going to be? Just Israel? Is Israel's going to be the only one that's going to say do it?
Well, don't believe what you read publicly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so the Saudis are never going to come out and say, please do this. They're going to come out and say, we're against it. You can't use our airspace. We're not going to help.
Yep.
Privately, conversations are different. So, like, sometimes you see like, oh, Mr. President, please don't do this. When is it happening? When's it going to happen?
Of course.
Right? And especially with the first, when we did those B-2 bombers, Saudi was also saying, please don't do it. We used their airspace. Okay,
So what do you think they're saying in private then? Because in public, no, I think the UAE said can't use our airspace.
I think this is the most important thing to MBS is to have it. I think what I gather from what Saudi Arabia wants to accomplish is I think they recognize for the Middle East to emerge as a major economic region, which it has the potential to do. This is a necessary piece. You're never going to be able to become what you want to become.
What's the holdup? What do you think is the holdup?
I think personally, when we went into Venezuela, we took out Maduro. We by the way, we set the plan that you talked about, Jared. We went to the number 2 and number 3 and said, hey, listen, you guys were all going to get wiped out. Follow in line, do what we're going to say. And they're kind of holding it together. Because think about it. The military still has to be in charge. The government still has to run. And with Khomeini, who's going to be the number 2 guy? Another crazy person that's going to, there's no negotiating with that sense. So I'm saying that's why I think, Jared, we didn't go, he kind of is holding back. Because if you take out Khomeini, which by the way, they can take him out like that, who's number 2? Yeah. Another crazy anti-American, death to America, death to everybody. I think they went a little bit too far, but I don't think Trump's not going to do it.
But the Israelis showed you could take out multiple people at a time, right? And so, listen, it takes a while to put those things in motion.
I think he'll do it.
So I'm good with pause, right, and time, but I'm not good with never.
I think he'll do it. I think he's going to do it. But
on the hope despair chart, if you want to have like a tough versus fake tough chart, Iran is fully on the fake tough chart. For years, death to America, like Maduro, come and get me. Oh yeah, we'll come and get you. The death to America chants, the death to Israel, the death to England, the death to the West, and you've never won a fight. All you do is fund proxies. Your Triple H crew with Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, you're funding Islamic Jihad. You haven't won a fight since the 80s.
Trump is
so
unpredictable.
you're 40 years of not winning anything, and you're still talking tough, Ayatollah.
You know the best
I think at any point, if they wanted to take him out, they could. The people that would suffer the most, which clearly the Ayatollahs and the mullahs don't care, are the Iranian people. The number one question is, how many Iranian lives have to die before this regime falls? Because tens of thousands didn't move the needle one bit.
Well, guess what? The fact that they just told all the people there, the embassy and everything like that, watch Trump. The best time for him to do it would be halftime during Bad Bunny's performance, just to make everybody look away from that thing.
Are you reading the cables? Are you reading the international cables?
Yeah.
Getting back to Pat's question, take a look at history. We moved Maduro out when we knew that whether it's CIA or it's other things or knowing who's behind him, that there's going to be some relative stability and something progressing behind it.
Yes.
When we went and got Noriega and plucked him out of Panama, there was something that was relatively stable. We at least knew what was going to come up behind it. Neither of those destabilized.
Yep.
Now you go take a look at right now, we have history. Twice we armed the Mujahideen and got the Russians out of Afghanistan, but there was no leadership to flow in, and it became even more crazy than it was before the Russians were there. Then what you saw what happened to Saddam Hussein, and there was no backup plan, and it went nuts in Iraq. So I believe America is waiting till they can invoke and kind of control who and what comes up there, because if you just take them out, history shows you in that side of the Middle East, what flows in can be far worse and more uncontrollable.
And we're not talking about the oil, right? So the problem also is that if you take out a couple of people, right? And all of a sudden there's just mass chaos and they stop producing as a result. Oil prices are going to spike. And so he's hearing that as well. But, listen, again, I think the president has to realize that it's him or nobody. He's got a period of time to do it. If he doesn't do it, then the Iranian people, this is their future.
If you're watching this and you want to insure yourself, do yourself a favor and go buy the shirt allegedly. Because when you're going through moments like this, never has there been a more important time to walk around making sure everybody knows you lean on the word allegedly, because that's the biggest insurance policy you can have nowadays, as long as you use the word allegedly. So if you want to protect yourself, go to vtmerch.com, get yourself an allegedly shirt or a hat, walk around at work with your family, with your friends, and just say, allegedly, this is what I heard. You will be protected, just like many others do, wearing the allegedly gear. And it is one of the greatest conversation starters. No matter where you're at, people look at you, they smile, and it goes into
I'm curious,
a conversation.
in a court of law, in a court of law, Jared, you would know this. If you're wearing that shirt and you're talking just out of your butt and you're saying crazy stuff, in court, you just be like,
Allegedly,
hey,
I heard.
I didn't say it out loud,
Allegedly.
but the shirt is saying it.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.